It's the calm before the storm, although given Sydney's recent unseasonably dismal weather, organisers will be hoping for clear skies to allow tonight's spectacular annual New Year's Eve fireworks to be seen in their full glory.
I'm confident that, nothing will go wrong, so to speak, barring the weather, of course, but I think even that would have to be pretty catastrophic.
With a background in industrial design, creating everything from watches, furniture, cars and plane interiors, for Mark Newson overseeing the vision for Sydney's 2011 New Year's Eve celebrations has been something of a departure.
I've never done this before. And I'm working with things like fireworks. It's a very sort of temporal medium in many ways, and you don't get any opportunity to have a rehearsal. I mean, it's a one-off event and then it happens and it's done. And I may never do it ever again.
Among the challenges will be the sheer size of Sydney's midnight fireworks, which City of Sydney says is the biggest and most complex pyrotechnic display in the world.
I think it's something like 11,000 actual, firework devices. It's a vast number. I mean, and of course there are all of the locations as well. Some of them are on barges in the middle of the harbour, some are on buildings. Of course, there's the harbour bridge. So it's a massive logistical exercise. I imagine, 11,000 things kind of happening in 12 minutes.
This setting in Sydney's southwest appears tranquil, but don't be fooled. This is where Foti International Fireworks has been hard at work producing the devices for Sydney's New Year's Eve celebrations. The family-run company, now 7 generations strong, is behind some of the world's biggest fireworks shows both in Australia and overseas.
It is a long tradition and a passion for us. It's not just a job, it's something that we love doing. And it's a very rewarding job for us because, you get to entertain people in mass and everyone's got a front row seat, so it's good to be there.
After 6 months of preparation, the Foti team will be working until just hours before the fireworks are due to go off.
We usually are working right up until 6 o'clock that night, getting everything up on the city rooftops and so forth. This New Year's Eve is as big as any other. We've got 16 shipping containers of equipment. There's in excess of 11,000 aerial fireworks, probably 30,000 comets and mines. We use 100 tonne of sand, 55 skip bins. There's 6 barges, a big bridge there, Sydney Harbour Bridge, 7 rooftops. There's 19 laptop computers that will shoot the whole show and synchronise it to the music. We'll have a crew of 45 people working over a 10-day period to get everything ready for the night.
While the scale of the event is on a par with previous years, Mark Newson is aiming to provide a fresh take on the display.
I'd like to think it's bigger and bolder, but in some ways it's more restrained as well. The colour palette that we've chosen to use, that I've chosen to use, is far more restrained, I think, than it's ever been. The blue and the yellow and the green and the purple. These are not necessarily colours that are obviously associated with Sydney or Australia, but I thought that, they're really interesting, vibrant.
And just like the crowds lining the harbour foreshore to wait for the stroke of midnight, there's a growing sense of anticipation for the team behind the show.
I mean, I've been pretty relaxed about it, but of course right now it's starting to kind of dawn on me that it's a big deal and there must be a big sense of expectation, and I'm starting to get a little nervous about that.
An 8-minute-long family fireworks display at 9 p.m. local time will precede the midnight show and the bridge effect, which marks the New Year's Eve finale.